Good evening, televiewers, and welcome to today's edition of the English Newscast on Info TV. Our lone headline: the swearing-in of Cameroon's President Paul Biya has held this November 6 at the National Assembly in the presence of members of the Senate, the Constitutional Council, Supreme Court cabinet members, and other dignitaries. More on this in the course of this newscast. Details in a jiffy. Welcome back. President Paul Biya has been sworn into office as the President of the Republic of Cameroon. This was during a solemn ceremony this Thursday, November 6, at the National Assembly, bringing together top government officials. Jude Kenji reports.
Today is a day of great celebration and national pride as President Paul Biya begins his new term as the leader of Cameroon. The ceremony takes place at the beautiful National Assembly building in Yaoundé, the important building also known as the Paul Biya Glass House. All the most important people in the country attend. The Senate, the Supreme Court, government ministers, members of parliament, and foreign diplomats are all present to show their support. The Speaker of the National Assembly, the Right Honorable Kavayege Jibril, is the one who leads the ceremony. He guides the event with great dignity and respect. President Paul Biya stands before the nation and takes the official oath. He promises to lead Cameroon faithfully and to work for the good of all its people.
I do so swear.
He places a special focus on helping the youth and women of Cameroon. He promises to create more jobs for young people and to support women in achieving more. The event is a very solemn and respectful occasion. To honor the president, the military performs a grand 101-gun salute. The powerful sound fills the air, showing the strength and unity of the nation. The ceremony is a powerful sign of peace and stability for the country. It shows that Cameroon is united and moving forward. With President Paul Biya leading Cameroon, the future of Cameroon looks very bright. He therefore calls for all Cameroonians to move ahead together as one strong and proud nation.
Following his solemn swearing-in for an 8th term, President Paul Biya delivered a landmark inaugural speech at the National Assembly this Thursday, November 6. According to politicians, this outlines the visionary path for a Cameroon that places youths and women at the top. Jude Kenji once more.
Mesdames, Messieurs, chers compatriotes,
the speech delivered to a packed chamber of the nation's most esteemed dignitaries was met with anticipation and respect. After taking the oath of office administered by the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Right Honorable Kavayege Jibril, President Paul Biya addressed the nation with a message of continuity and progressive change. Central to the President's address was a robust plan for youth empowerment. President Paul Biya announced concrete measures to tackle youth unemployment, pledging to launch a new vocational training centers and create funds to support entrepreneurial ventures.
I was so glad that I was here. You know, just listening to the way the head of state read his speech, that was the most beautiful part of it. The speed with which he read the sentences, the way he turned the pages, with all the energy on the world.
For the 10th legislature, it's our very first time. So we have seen the other oath takings on TV. Today we're part of it live. And so you can imagine the joy we carry. And also I want to say that I was happy for my speaker. My speaker was in his toughest form. And I'm happy for that. And I thank God for his health. I thank God for that strength.
Further outlining his social policy, the president dedicated a significant portion of his speech to the role of women. He promised to strengthen policies that promote gender equality and enhance women's participation in all sectors of the economy and governance.
And a very good speech from the head of state. Very important speech because the head of state has called on all Cameroonians to be together, to work together with him so that we should face all our challenges. Because as you know, we have many challenges. He especially emphasizes on the situation of the youth and the women of Cameroon. And he called on all of us to try, especially us, members of government and others, to work so that those problems on employment and so on should be faced. We should find solution together.
On the youths and the women. And I think that is where we have a problem in the country. And I pray that, like the speaker says, this is your pen. From today, start making the actions. Start signing the decrees. And one of the first decrees that he asked him to do is to sign the decree for government and do changes that will do meaningful changes that will influence the life of Cameroonians, particularly our youths and our women.
Beyond specific policies, the president's speech carried a powerful theme of national unity and collective effort. He called on all Cameroonians to work together to build a more prosperous and stable nation, emphasizing that progress is a shared responsibility.
For me, as I'm working with youth, is the kind of proposal that we were working on. So when the head of state talks about, is for me a kind of testifying or testimony. That means he's all time hearing our cries, the cries of his children. So I'm really happy with everything, and I hope that many of us or many people in the country will be like me.
Son discours il a touché tout ce que nous vivons. Ça, on dit que lui il suit les Camerounais nuit et jour sur les réseaux sociaux, que ça soit bon, bref. Et ce qui m'a beaucoup marqué, c'est qu'il disait, chaque mot il disait, par la grâce de Dieu, par la grâce de Dieu, par la grâce de Dieu et par la grâce de Dieu.
As the ceremony concluded, the mood was one of cautious optimism. President Biya's 8th term begins with a clear roadmap focused on its people, setting a tone that is widely welcome across the nation.
Some citizens have shared their thoughts on the head of state's message and what it means for the country. Jessica Ndiwum hits the streets of Yaoundé and gathered their different opinions in this report.
A new chapter begins for Cameroon as the president takes the oath of office, pledging unity, stability, and renewed progress for the nation. His speech touched on key priorities, from national security and youth empowerment to economic recovery and social cohesion. In the nation's capital, Yaoundé, reactions to the president's message were mixed. Some citizens say his words have rekindled hope, while others remain cautiously optimistic about what lies ahead.
Je pense que
Given the concrete socio-political context, it is crucial for the head of state and the government to take strong measures to galvanize the population across all sectors. Reducing unemployment should be a top priority. For instance, the president or the minister of higher education could decree that all master's degree holders or doctorate candidates be automatically recruited. This will help curb unemployment and prevent the ongoing brain drain, which tarnishes Cameroon's image.
Des routes?
More roads should be constructed or rehabilitated, as many remain in poor condition, making movement difficult, especially during this misty and raining period. Transportation becomes a real challenge for many citizens. In terms of youth employment, there is also a need for change. While entrepreneurship is often promoted, young people are rarely given the proper training and guidance to succeed as entrepreneurs. Without adequate support, the idea of entrepreneurship remains unrealistic for many. While opinions differ, many agree that the president's words have set the tone for what citizens expect, concrete results that can improve their daily lives. We need to see construction projects everywhere across the country. I only hope that the outcome of the recent elections has prompted those in charge of employment to understand what actions must be taken.
At a certain period of time, many people are still complaining that they are not having jobs, so we pray that he should bring jobs to the youths especially. The states of roads are not good. People are complaining and a lot of accidents always occur in Cameroon because of the states of the road. So we pray that the head of state should look at our cry for the local people. We pray that there should be peace in Cameroon because that is the most important thing. There should be peace. Many people are still complaining and we all Cameroonians are still seeing that there is no peace in Cameroon, but we pray that the head of state should see the cry of his children, that he should bring peace.
As the new presidential term begins, Cameroonians are watching closely to see if today's message of hope will translate into real change.
As dawn broke over Yaoundé this November 6, 2025, jubilant citizens gathered in the political capital of Cameroon to warmly welcome the re-elected President Paul Biya. The streets transformed into a celebration of unity and patriotism with colorful banners and waving of flags. Agnes Ayo tells us more.
As the sun began to rise over the bustling political capital of Cameroon, Yaoundé, this November 6, 2025, excitement filled the air as the population heralded the arrival of the re-elected president of Cameroon, His Excellency Paul Biya. Citizens from all walks of life gathered in the heart of the city, their smiles reflecting a collective sense of hope and anticipation. Flags waved proudly in the gentle morning breeze, their vibrant colors symbolizing unity and patriotism. The streets were adorned with colorful banners, transforming the cityscape in a lively celebration. As the clock struck the hour of the president's arrival at the Paul Biya's glass house, the crowd erupted in cheers, voices intertwining in a harmonious chorus of support. The atmosphere was charged with optimism. Individuals were not just spectators, but active participants in shaping their country's future. The ambience is one of unity and optimism, reflecting the aspirations of a nation looking to the future.
And on to something else, the Ngumu Municipal Council held an ordinary session workshop on November 5, 2025 to adopt the administrative and management accounts for the year 2024. This marks a significant step towards transparency and good governance in that municipality. Mimi Tiobo throws more light.
An ordinary workshop session was held on November 5th, 2025 at the Ngomo Municipal Community Hall in the Mefuanakono Division to adopt the administrative and management accounts for the 2024 financial year. During the session, municipal councillors examined two key documents, the administrative account and the municipal treasury management account.
Nous avons pris pour nous.
We took note of the observation and we are going to try to improve. But the two accounts, the mayor's administrative account and the management account, were validated because they were consistent. We've always validated a number of deliberations that will allow the community, the municipality, to move forward with promoting a number of economic activities and a number of projects for the benefit of the population, with partnership that we are going to establish, which the City Council has validated validated, notably the construction of a hotel complex here in the partnership with the proper management company. The budget of the Ngomo municipality for the 2024 financial year was prepared in accordance with the guidelines contained in the General Code of Decentralized Territorial Collectivities and the Joint Circular Letter on Budget Preparation. It was a balance in revenue and expenditure at a total of 1,666,898,663 CFA francs.
Je pense, comme l'a dit le conseil municipal, les différentes.
I think, like the municipal councillor said, the different commissions that produce reports, we will continue the effort to increase the municipality revenue. We are moving forward. We appreciated the progress made in 2024. And we believe that in 2025, we will do better when we validate the 2025 budget. The session was presided over by the Senior Divisional Officer for Mefuanakono at the Lynn Claude Francois Sopmote, in the presence of the Divisional Officer for Ngomo, Roland Ewane Eke, the Mayor of Ngomo, Jean-Baptiste Atemenge Anvuna, the Session President Jean-Claude Angissa, Saturin Efamesi, and other members of the Municipal Council. It reflected a shared commitment to promoting the development and well-being of the people of Ngomo.
And the governor of the West Region, Augustine Awafonka, embarked on a tour across several secondary schools in the Mifi division. His mission was to ensure that teaching and learning activities are effectively going on in that part of the country. Patience Shintum reports.
Amid lingering post-electoral tensions and calls for ghost towns, the governor of the West Region, Augustine Awafonka, hit the ground, visiting several secondary schools across the Mifi division in the West Region of Cameroon. His mission is to see firsthand whether lessons were effectively continuing despite the tense atmosphere.
Je suis très satisfait.
I am very satisfied and can boldly tell you that effective presence in most secondary schools is very encouraging. For example, at the government high school, we met over 1,000 students who answered present in class and some teachers giving lessons. I encourage those who are in school to keep up with the good work.
L'école de continuer à travailler.
The governor's inspection revealed that while teaching activities were ongoing in most schools, attendance was not total. In some areas, both students and teachers were noticeably absent.
Ceux qui ne sont pas encore là.
I call on those students who are still absent to resume with immediate effect so as to catch up, because at the end of the school year, they will sit for the same exams with those in other towns. And for parents still keeping their children home, I encourage them to send their kids to school so that they can meet up with the academic work. Speaking during the visit, Governor Awafonka reaffirmed the government's firm commitment to ensuring that the 2025-2026 school year calendar is respected in full across the national territory, stressing that education must not be disrupted by political uncertainty.
Since Monday, the town of Yokadouma in the Bumba and Ngoko division has experienced relative calm and tranquility. The call for a general ghost town was rejected by the local population as they go about their daily activities. Agnes Ayo completes that story.
Since Monday, November 3, 2025, the city of Yokadouma in the Bombe Ngoko division shows remarkable serenity. Despite the ghost town order, the population remains in calm and stability. In Yokadouma, there is no ghost town. No demonstration has taken place in Yokadouma. And as usual, we return to our jobs and we live together and remain the way we have been for a long time. Individuals continue with their commercial activities normally. The markets are open and vendors ready to serve the customers. Everything is moving on smoothly. There is no ghost town. All is going very well as usual. The motorbike sector is working well with our clients as usual. There is no ghost town here. We do not need it because we do not have any problem here. Whatever the state decides, we are behind. When I arrived in the market at about 6:30 a.m., I met women who buy and sell already in the market. I appreciated it and I pray they continue in this light. Schools are equally opened without any disturbances, this with a notable presence of pupils on the first day of the week. At the government primary school, Group 4, our staff is well present and the pupils are also well present. Classes are effective and the teachers are in their various positions. There is no ghost town in Yokadouma. In the city of Yokadouma, the ghost town order has no impact on the population as they continue to demonstrate their attachment to the values of peace and stability.
We remain in society to say overflowing waste bins are fast becoming a common sight in various neighborhoods in Yaoundé. From Juvans to Biemasi, residents, business owners are decrying the growing health and environmental threat. Patient Shintum visited some of these neighborhoods and compiled the following reports.
From Mario Primaire in Juvans to Carrefour Kaka and along the Rond-Point Express Takers stretch, piles of garbage have become both an eyesore and a health hazard.
Where we are is really a shame because when you look at the level at which we are now, due to our health condition, is really bad. Because it actually pollutes this environment. And we are really feeling bad.
Despite the availability of dumpsters provided by the council, many residents still choose to dump trash around them rather than inside. The result: overflowing bins, littered streets, and foul odors seeping into nearby businesses and homes.
One, for the population. They come, they see the waste bin. They leave way to dump. They dump at the side. Look at, if you can see behind me, it's very easy. I don't know whether the council has to sensitize people or what. Then two, the council is supposed to pass at least twice a weekend because the population here, I don't know what to say.
The same problem extends from Carrefour Tekase past Parlement Eto up to Carrefour Biemasi, where heaps of waste continue to accumulate.
Someone cannot really actually walk here freely, and the other people who are working here, you see at times customers will come and go away because they cannot withstand the odor of this place, so they prefer to go. Will make actually work to be very difficult for us.
Yet, amid the frustration, citizens acknowledge recent efforts by the waste management company to improve collection. Many, however, insist that lasting change depends not only on the company, but also on civic responsibility. Keeping Yaoundé clean, they say, is a collective duty, one every Cameroonian must uphold.
And out of Cameroon, from Mauritania to Senegal, USA to Brazil, different stories are making news around the globe. Jessica Ndiwum focused on this nation and gives us more highlights.
An outbreak of Rift Valley fever in Mauritania and Senegal has killed 42 people and infected more than 400 between September 20 and October 30th. According to the World Health Organization, the virus has also affected livestock, with 200 animals in Mauritania and 176 in Senegal testing positive. Rift Valley fever is a mosquito-borne disease that primarily affects animals but can also be transmitted to humans through contact with the bodily fluids of infected animals. Severe human cases can develop into hemorrhagic fever or encephalitis, sometimes resulting in death. Beyond its human toll, the virus poses a serious economic threat to agricultural communities as infected livestock often die or suffer miscarriages, impacting food supply and livelihoods. While in South Sudan, the United States is ending South Sudan's designation for Temporary Protected Status (TPS), which for years allowed citizens from the East African nation to live legally in the U.S. while escaping armed conflict back home. The Department of Homeland Security (DHS) said the determination will take effect on January 5, 2026. After conferring with interagency partners, Secretary of Homeland Security Christy Noem determined that conditions in South Sudan no longer meet the TPS statutory requirements. The DHS statement said South Sudanese nationals who report their departure through the Customs and Border Protection mobile app may receive a complimentary plane ticket at $1,000 exit bonus and potential opportunities for future legal immigration. The decision marks a significant setback for South Sudanese living in the U.S. as their home country continues to face political instability and ongoing humanitarian challenges. In Brazil, environmentalist activists staged a protest on Wednesday in Belém, Brazil, along the Amazon River, ahead of the 30th United Nations Climate Change Summit, COP30. The demonstrators warned that progress on climate action has been too slow, urging world leaders to step up efforts to combat climate change. Oxfam Brazil's executive director, Viviana Santiago, criticized politicians for taking small steps and called on them to wake up. Protesters donned giant heads representing figures including Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and former U.S. President Donald Trump, lounging on hammocks beside a giant clock to symbolize the urgency of the climate crisis.
And that does it for tonight's edition of the English Newscast. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for watching and stay in the company of our programs. Have a good evening.